Yes.
Is that your copy? Is that your only
That's
copy?
my copy.
Okay, well, you
Yeah.
keep that.
Well,
If
Jim's got
somebody-
an extra copy.
Yeah, Jim got
Do you have an
it.
extra?
You
We
want
both
one?
the same?
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Larry, run. It's 2 o'clock.
Kidding.
I was kidding, Larry.
Did you run that fast? Balls. This is strictly the job title, not the pay rate. Is that what it is?
What was that?
Bobby Hartman, will you lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Pastor Anton DeWitt, Old Steeple Church, Aquabog. DeWitt.
Thank you. As a newcomer to this area, it's good to meet everybody for the first time. Been here 3 months and really enjoying the area.
Where are you from, Boston? Kidding.
No, the accent's an all-American accent. You didn't recognize it? Southern Africa, Rhodesia and South Africa.
South Africa.
Well, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Right, folks, let us join in prayer. Creating and sustaining God, we give thanks for this day of life and opportunity. We pray for your guidance in the affairs of our community. May it be that all that is fair and all that adds to the lives of our people will be our shared endeavor. Bless those who serve through leadership. May you keep their hearts and minds open to the possibilities to do what is life-enhancing. In your name, we ask all of this. Amen.
Reverend DeWitt, did I say it right that time? Old Steeple Church, welcome. Are you the new pastor?
I am,
Full-time?
full-time.
Yes.
Congratulations. I know we had the interim pastor for a while, so welcome
Right.
aboard. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you around town, sir.
First winter in snow.
Find your
Are we
tongue.
going down?
Jim, we're going down, this is ratifies, okay, this one's off the floor, Jill? Jill, is this one?
Yeah.
Both, no, one is an amends, oh, both are off the floor, got
Yeah,
it.
both of them come off the floor.
Okay, we're going down to the front, and because Jim and Tim are the only ones with turquoise on there leading the show. Tim, show everybody
My
your turquoise.
socks.
I did get
Oh,
the
Lord.
memo too.
Well, let's face it, you go into a guy's closet, how much turquoise can that be?
I know.
And
I had to dig this one
young
out.
lady, I don't have your name, but come on back up, I have it. This is,
From Lung Force.
Hi.
Hi, Jim.
Beautiful turquoise. Very nice.
Is it really turquoise?
so I'm standing next to the guy with turquoise.
I'm wearing turquoise.
There you go.
I didn't say I should have had my nails done.
All right, the reason, and your name is?
Mary Ann.
Mary Ann.
Yes.
Our Mary Ann's with Lung Force. We're told to wear turquoise today, and I looked around and said, am I the only one wearing it? But then, thank you for that. Tim, thank you for your socks. And it's probably another wear band probably has one too. But basically, lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women and men in the United States. And lung cancer diagnosed in women have more than doubled in the last 30 years. Every 8 minutes, one woman in the U.S. loses her battle with lung cancer. The number of women dying from lung cancer has nearly doubled over the past 35 years. Whereas women are disproportionately burdened with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, compared to men in terms of illness and death, and asthma is more common in women than men. And whereas public support for research funding, advocacy, and increased awareness will result in greater and improved treatments, including early detection of lung cancer, that will ultimately save lives. And whereas Lung Force, Anne-Marie, is a fast-growing national initiative led by the American Lung Association with the mission of making lung cancer and lung disease history. Uniting women to stand together with a collective strength and determination to lead the fight against lung cancer and for lung health. And let it be known in recognition of Women's Lung Health Week, the town of Riverhead supports the American Lung Association's Lung Force campaign efforts in raising awareness of all lung disease, and may we look forward to a future free of all lung cancer and lung diseases. And now furthermore, we salute the women and men who dedicate themselves to the prevention, the detection, and the treatment We show our support with every individual and every family struggling with lung disease, and we pause to remember those we have lost. Therefore, I, Sean M. Walter, along with us, the town board, do hereby proclaim the week of May 7th through the 13th as Women's Lung Health Week. Throughout the town of Rivet, I encourage all residents of our town to learn more about the detection and treatment of lung cancer and lung disease. Prevention and treatment begins with awareness. That's so true with many things. Offering hope that one day there will be a cure for all lung diseases. And this is proclaimed this second day of May, 2017.
That was such a dramatic reading. Great job.
Well, I lost my mother to lung cancer and a brother to lung cancer, so it does affect everybody here has been affected by some form of cancer or another, whether it's lung or breast.
Right.
And awareness is the key.
Appreciate it.
Would you
Thank
like
you
to
so
say a few
much.
words?
I just wanted to thank you all on behalf of the American Lung Association. This is a campaign, Lung Force campaign, was started 4 years ago when we saw this tremendous, really, need to educate women about lung cancer. Most women are not aware that lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer. You know, if you ask them, if we did a survey, very few of them would say that. But unfortunately, what happens with lung cancer is that it's usually not diagnosed until very late stages, and that's why there's a very large mortality rate for lung cancer. So we really want to make sure that women who are at risk for lung cancer are getting screened, and that there's early detection. We also want to make sure that there are research dollars available out there, because there's not enough right now to have targeted therapies for lung cancer. I think some of you have seen some of the lung cancer evaluation centers opening up in many of the facilities on Long Island. Stony Brook Hospital has one. And we have something called low CT screening for people who are at high risk for lung cancer that can detect it in the very early stages. So we want to make sure that women know that and men, of course, that this is available for to get screened, and it's covered by insurance, which is the wonderful thing. It wasn't in the past, but the past few years it has been covered under Medicare and other insurance. So we encourage people who are at high risk to go get that screening, and just spread the word. It's really important. So thank you very much on behalf of the Lung Association again.
And John's got turquoise on too, I see.
And I love it. And can somebody send me a picture?
Yeah, did we, let's take a picture.
Because my camera's not working.
No, we're gonna get a picture.
Okay.
We'll get a picture.
And yellow Sean. Great way, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Again, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. Take care. Jill, do we have a dog?
No dog.
No, I don't think so. No dog.
Okay.
All right, Harriet.
Hey, Harriet has 2 songs for us.
How do you know? Mother's Day.
And next May 9th is Harriet's birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
happy
Is that
birthday.
Say that, she'll be what, 50?
She'll be 16.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Bob's just singing.
Happy birthday, dear Harriet. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
I wanted to say something as the last month was Autism Awareness Month, and I think it's very important that we find out what these people can do, much more so than we find out what they can't do. I think when anybody is handicapped or they're behind or anything, all the emphasis is on what they can't do and how we're going to pay for what they can't do. There's practically no emphasis on what they can do. We find out what they can do, who knows, they might be tops at something much better than the average person. Then we can find out what they can do. We might be very surprised, so that's where I think we ought to put the emphasis. But now for Mother's Day, Warren suggested something, and at first I thought, what does this have to do with Mother's Day? But it does, because most mothers have a husband or a boyfriend, or they had one, so they might feel like this. Why this feeling? Why this glow? Why the thrill when you say hello? It's a strange and tender magic you do, Mr. Wonderful, that you. Why this trembling when you speak? Why this joy when you touch my cheek? I must tell you what my heart knows is true, Mr. Wonderful, that you. And why this longing to know your charms, to spend forever here in your arms? Oh, there's much more I could say, but the words keep slipping away, and I'm left with only one point of view, Mr. Wonderful, that you.
Very nice, Harriet.
And here's about their kids. Is this the little girl I carry? Is this the little boy at play? I don't remember growing older. When did they? When did she get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday when they were small? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as they gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years, one season following another, laden with happiness and tears. One season following another, laden with happiness and tears.
Very good. Thank you.
Harriet, thank you very much. That was absolutely beautiful. Where else but in the town of Riverhead can you come for it's like a show.
Harriet in her Easter bonnet.
Well, I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, John, motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 18th, 2017 meeting. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Aubrey.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved. Under correspondence, we had many letters. Kathleen McGraw sent a letter encouraging the town board to include a clause in the Illuminati sales contract for the purchase of property at EPCAL to relinquish their rights to develop supportive housing. The Coalition Against EPCAL Housing sent a letter requesting that the town consider an agreement with Illuminati as part of the proposed purchase of property at EPCAL to waive their rights to construct any buildings for residential or housing purposes. Oh, I'm going to say this name wrong. Orvnanos and Grimm family sent a letter of opposition to the proposed URT fuel cell project. Michael Cronin sent a letter opposition to the proposed URT fuel cell project. Herb Gardner sent a letter of opposition to any change to the town code to reduce the current 29-day limit for rental dwelling units. 11 letters in support of shorter term limits for rental dwelling units was sent, and a petition with 51 signatures in support of Riverhead short-term rentals. Under reports, the tax receiver total tax collection to date as of April 25th, $81,278,256.17. The Town of Riverhead Annual Financial Report for 2016 was submitted. The Building Department submitted their April monthly report at $77,954.25.
All right, any other town board reports?
No, I don't have it in front of me, but on my desk, I'd like to thank the 20 or so people that came out this past Saturday for the annual cleanup. We had over 20 people actually, and a whole host that came from the Ecclesia Church in that they want to build on Shade Tree Lane.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
A tremendous outpour.
Oh, they were at the last one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they sent a lot of people, so I sent them home with a lot of snacks. But they did a lot of Grangeville Park. They did all around the school campuses, which is where they wanted to concentrate on Griffin Avenue, Osborne Avenue, Polish Town area. Lots of garbage. And then George Bartlett came down with his crew, and they went up to North Edwards. So it was a really, in fact, a lot of them came back and they said they want to do it every week. So I said, certainly I will keep my grabbers in my office. Anytime you want to do it, you just come on and go and knock yourself out. But it was a good turnout. It was a nice day. It turned out to be a good day. So I want to thank all of them.
Good, thank you, Jim. Anybody else?
Just a reminder for the Colonial Ball, the 225th Colonial Ball, Friday, June 9th at the Suffolk Theater. We have all our sponsorships in now, so we're gonna have a great night of dinner and dancing, and we have the New Millennial Jazz Band hired for the event. They're really a tremendous organization, and Colonial outfit is optional, but come on down and have a great time. There'll be more posted on our website coming up.
What are your hoop skirts?
I just want to say that Larry Levy is working on the 175th parade that they had in Riverhead back in 1967, and we're going to try to show that on Channel 22 when he gets ready, when he edits it and has it all ready. But he has a copy of it, and we're going to try to get out to you so you can see the 175th birthday celebration on Channel 22.
Larry's in the fishbowl. That is the fishbowl.
That's the fishbowl back there.
All right, no other committee reports then? We're going to take the public hearing slightly out of order because the 205 and the 215 public hearing are related. So what we'll do is open the 205 and the 215 at 2:15 or after the 2:10. So the first public hearing we're going to open is was scheduled for 2:10. We open the public hearing at 2:19, and this is a public hearing on the question of the extension of the boundary of the Riverhead Sewer District to accommodate the sewer connection for a facility of Pro Health Care located at 896 Old Country Road, Riverhead, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map number 0600-108-3-24. And this young man, whom I probably should know his name, but I don't, is you're going to present on behalf of the town from H2M?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Nick Bono, H2M. Good
Ned
afternoon.
or Nick?
Nick.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
All right. This project is to extend the sewer system of the district to connect Pro Healthcare facility located at 896 Old Country Road. The cost of the project is going to be fully borne on the connectee. The total cost of the project based on recent bids received, including engineering soft cost, is at $629,000. And it's to take the gravity sewer on Ostrander Avenue, bring it along Ostrander to the north side of Old Country Road, and then extend about 400 feet to the west to provide a sewer lateral to connect the property.
Are they doing that low-pressure sewer?
The extension along Ostrander is going to be a gravity extension,
Right.
and then the extension west is going to be a low-pressure sewer connection.
Okay. All right, sounds exciting. Mike, did you want to add anything to that?
I just want to say
Michael Reichel.
Michael Wright, Riverhead School District. The side of Route 58, which will allow the rest of the properties that are at that intersection to connect as well. And the properties along Route 58 for that 400 feet will also be able to connect. So the old Willie Brothers property will have access, the auto shop on the corner, and the Hess building. And if Meta's office wants to connect, they can request an extension as well to run the rest of the way down Ostrander
So
Avenue.
this is a good project for everybody involved.
It is, and the public's not paying for it. It's coming from Pro Healthcare.
Thank you.
And they're required to hook up.
I have a question. Is this, because this has been going on for a couple of years, is this, the sewer main, is it going in the sidewalk on Route 58 on private property, or is it going in on the county property in the roadway?
It's going to be within the right-of-way, but underneath the sidewalk to minimize traffic impacts to travel down Route 58.
Okay, so it's in the county right of way.
It's in the county right-of-way, but outside the travel lanes of the roadway.
Okay, are we making any precautions in case the county should decide to widen the road at any particular time?
Based on the right-of-way limits and where the private property lines abut the sidewalk, we've had conversations with Suffolk County Highways to see if they had any plans for that, and there was no intention of widening it any further. I think they've widened it to the maximum extent possible.
Okay, so are they gonna snake under, or are they gonna rip up the sidewalks and then put new sidewalks in?
There was in the contract an alternate to drill or open cut. I believe that they're gonna try and drill it.
Are It's a big undertaking. Hence the
Good for us.
693,000, I guess, right?
All right,
Thank
does
you.
anybody from the public, any other board members wish to be heard?
Well, I mean, where does it run now? It runs down on the south side?
No, it runs north along Ostrander.
Right.
And the gravity sewer, there's a terminal manhole. I
And if
think
that ends there?
What's that?
If that ends there?
Yeah, it ends there. There's a terminal manhole there, but what we have to do, the county won't let us dig a trench across their roadway.
Okay.
So a lot of the cost is subject to them having to jack a gravity sewer to the north side.
I see, okay.
And then to minimize impacts, we request the contractor to drill the low pressure line under the sidewalk.
Okay, makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody from the public wish to be heard on this rather riveting public hearing?
Hey, it all flows downhill.
Not seeing anybody, we'll close the public comment portion and leave it open for written comment until Friday, May 12th, 4:30 in the town clerk's office. Thank you, gentlemen. So we're going to open two public hearings now. The first one was scheduled for 2:05, and this is a public hearing on the construction of the proposed increase in improvements of the Riverhead Water Districts, being improvements to the water distribution system and the purchase and installation of emergency generators at water district facilities at Pulaski Street. And the second public hearing was scheduled for 2:15. It is now 2:23, and we're going to open the second public hearing. This is a public hearing on the consideration of a proposed increase and improvement to the Riverhead Water District, being the construction of a new groundwater tank at Plant 15 site on Tuttle's Lane. And Mr. Conklin and Mr. Collins, are you going to come up and present this? And Mr. Rossini.
Good afternoon, Mark Conklin, Riverhead Water District. At this time, I'll turn it over to John Collins, our consulting engineer from H2M, to talk about the three projects.
Good job, Mark.
Good afternoon, John Collins with H2M. Do you want me to just run through the three?
Absolutely.
Okay. Like Mark said, there are three projects that we're considering. The first project being the emergency backup generators. One generator being at Pulaski Street, the main admin headquarters and the control center of the water district, and the second generator up on Edwards Avenue at Plant 16, Well 16. The generator at Plant 1, we're proposing to be a natural gas generator, and it's going to help Mark run the district by providing support to not only the well there, but the whole control system. And at Plant 16, as you're aware, we have the perchlorate filter up there, and it's a main, it's probably the workhorse of the water district come summertime, so we want to put a generator there to make sure we never lose power. For both generators, We estimate the cost to be, including soft costs, to be $1.15 million.
Mark made money last year, so.
People using water. The second project is a distribution project or new water mains. The project as a whole will include improvements at 5 locations. Pulaski Street in front of Town Hall West, Osborne Avenue between Home Depot and Foxwood, Osborne Avenue north of Youngs Avenue, Mill Road between Home Depot and Foxwoods, on Pier Avenue, where the high zone and his low zone currently meet, and on Peconic Bay Boulevard in the vicinity of the interconnect with Suffolk County Water. Project as a whole includes 4,800 feet of various sized water main, and we estimate the cost to be $962,000. The third project is a ground storage tank and booster system at Plant 15 on Tuttle's Lane. We are proposing a 2 million gallon concrete ground storage tank with booster pumps to be situated on the district-owned property. The tank will measure about 110 feet in diameter. It'll extend about 20 feet, 8 feet high. At this time, we're estimating the cost of this tank to be $3.4 million. So that's 3 projects, the distribution, the generators, and the ground storage tank, all at an estimated cost of $5.5 million.
What is the, I'm sorry, were you done, John?
Yes, sir.
Well, the ground storage tank on Pulaski Street, part of it, some of that's gonna be buried, as I understand it?
We're gonna go down about 6 feet.
Okay.
After 6 feet, it becomes cost prohibitive.
And then how high will the tank be?
If we bury it 6 feet, it sticks up about 21 or 22 feet.
Okay, so I mean, it's really not gonna be above a tree level.
No, sir.
All right, so thank you. Does the board have any questions?
Yes, on Tuttle's, does that include the acquisition of the property needed in order to store the tank?
We don't, we own the property already, so
Oh, we
there's
do?
no property acquisition.
Okay, because I thought that we were looking at alternatives on,
That was at Alan Schmidt's house.
okay, that was a different property, okay.
All right, any other board questions? All right, any other questions for from the public?
We did talk about this.
Can I just got one question? This will increase our capacity in the summer months, the tank, storage tanks?
Yeah, well, it'll increase our capacity,
You know,
throughout-
we're short in the summer because of irrigation and stuff.
One of the main reasons why we're building it is because people like green grass, yes. And it'll help us, those peak morning hours from 4 to 10, it'll allow us, it'll help
With the demand.
it'll help the demand by providing another source, but at the same time not having to put another hole in the ground in the form of a well.
And
And the generators are there in case electricity goes off. They can start the generators and keep the pumps going.
At 15,
Yes.
there's
And Edwards Avenue.
well, at 15, there's an existing generator up there to run the wells. We'll put another small generator just to run the boosters. At Edwards Avenue, the generator that we're proposing will help run the well, and if we lose, it's not LIPA anymore, it's PSE&G. If we lose power, we'll be able to run for 5 days without power.
Thank you.
And, Bill, I have a question for you. The rates, when we raise the rates in anticipation of these improvements, how much do we have in contingency?
You have to go up to the microphone, Bill.
We're not sure how much.
You have to come up to the microphone up there.
I'm not sure how much is going into contingency yet. We just finished the annual financial statement. It has not been audited. So at this time, we can't tell how much is actually in there. The other thing is, we only have the rates for a certain period of time, so we then have to project what we're getting in the future. We're gonna have to blend this with bonds and money that we're taking from the fund balance. And then the board has to agree how much you're still keeping in fund balance versus how much is in water key monies also.
And what is the percentage that we have in fund balance now? Is it in conformity with our policy, 15%?
They didn't have fund balance, they owed us money. And they paid it off this year.
We just rolled into a positive fund balance, so I'm not sure how much that's going to be. I'll have that calculation.
We think we made, what, 2? Is that about what we, 2 million?
Yeah, we think we have somewhere around $1.5 million to $2 million.
In contingents, or in,
No,
fund balance?
In
No,
fund
no.
balance, that's
Well-
not considering your 15%, you know, in that fund, so.
That's money that they made last year with the rate increases. We'll fund this through potentially water key money. Some of the money, the 1.5 million or 2 million, whatever it is, when we finally sell this. And by raising the rate taxes to the tax cap of 2%, which isn't gonna give you much. So it's really, water rate is going to pay these back. So the people, what I like about this is the people that water more are paying, more for the tanks, because they're costing us more. If they didn't water, we wouldn't have to put these things in.
If they had a dirt front lawn, but.
That's right.
So.
Not dirt,
just
it's
out-
natural brown.
Just out of curiosity, can you get me an Excel sheet before the board decides to vote on this, so that I can see what the bond indebtedness will be over the length of the bond, please, for the amount that we're anticipating bonding?
Yes.
I wanna make sure it's sustainable.
Off the top of your head,
There's no choice.
No, well.
what is the minimum water
something
charge
we can
now
do later, I don't know.
that the water district charges us?
I don't know.
I know it was $19 and change.
Sure.
Is that,
It's $19.90.
1990, yeah.
For every 1,000 gallons over a set amount, it's $1.73 per thousand.
well, that's, for the water that we get and the service that district supplies, that's not bad. I think most of our residents are in a minimum charge, except the commercial, when they use a lot of water for irrigation and stuff. And then the charge goes up, correct?
If you use a lot more than if you have a 5/8 inch meter and you use more than 5,000 gallons, you pay $1.73 per 1,000 gallons after your minute.
And this is something that we need,
To sustain the water district.
yes.
And
Okay?
in the future, as far as any future connections for commercial development, we are approving those contingent upon them installing irrigation wells, correct?
Most of the time, yes. I mean, depends on what they've already done, so to speak. But yeah, like Baconic Care out in Calverton, that's gonna be wells. And any large scale development, we're saying yes. If it's a little bush out in front of your house, then we're not gonna make them put a.
No, not for residential, I'm saying commercial specifically.
Commercial specifically, it's large scale users are gonna require drill and irrigation.
Thank you.
All right, are there any other questions? Not seeing anybody, we will, and does the public want to
Water's important.
speak? Not seeing anybody, we'll close public comment portion, leave it open for written comment to May 12th, 4:30 in the town clerk's office. So, we are now on the, 4th public hearing. This is was scheduled for 2:20. It is now 2:34. This is a consideration of a local law to amend Chapter 289, Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code, Article 3, Traffic Regulations, Section 289-6, turns for 2711 Sound Avenue, AKA Grapes and Greens Building. This is going to require that the south side of Sound Avenue at the access driveway leading to 2711 Sound Avenue, AKA Grapes in Green, will be a posted right turn only. And at the same time, and this was going to, same time, we're gonna open up the last public hearing, which also concerns the same property. I'm gonna wait 1 minute because the last public hearing, 2:25. Last public hearing was scheduled for 2:25, it is now 2:35. And this is a public hearing of the Riverhead Town Board for the consideration of a local law to amend Chapter 289 Vehicles, Traffic, Parking Regulations of Riverhead Town Code, Article 4, Parking, Standing, Stopping. And this is going to be parking prohibited on Sound Avenue on the south side from its intersection with the Osborne Avenue in the westerly direction to the intersection with Bating Hollow Lane, and Sound Avenue on the north side from the intersection of Osborne Avenue in a westerly direction to its intersection with Baywood Drive. And so we opened both of these public hearings. These were born honestly out of conversations that Mr. King is here. I did have conversations that I wanted this should be a right turn in, right turn out facility. Planning board did not make that a right turn in, right turn out. We are having addressing issues which we figured would happen, and I understand you have a traffic report that may say other things, but the problem is that folks are making a left-hand turn, not being able to make a left-hand turn, shooting across either to the water property or shooting across to Baywood Drive, making a turn in Baywood Drive, and shooting diagonally across to Baywood Drive, which is what we were worried about, and then making a U-turn in Baywood Drive or driving to the end of the cul-de-sac and coming back up. We will have a follow-on public hearing because we also find that there aren't buses allowed. I guess they don't take buses at that facility, and we have had at least one occasion where a bus parked on Baywood Drive near the stop sign heading southbound and unloaded 4 young ladies to walk across, which we're happy they came to Riverhead to patronize our stores, but we can't have that type of situation. So that's the public hearing in a nutshell. I think, does the board want to comment before I open it up for residents?
No, I just want to say that I'm glad that the business has such good success where it is, but we have to protect our citizens and the people that use the roadways. And the no parking on the south and north side is that right now they can pull out and make a left-hand turn. If there's parking permitted on the south side, and a car is right by the driveway, you're not going to be able to see cars coming. So that's one reason that we have a no parking. Also on the north, it's a narrow road. Sound area is narrow, and we just don't want people parking and making the road narrower, so you have to slow down, and it could create an accident scene up there. Right now, he has posts that are on the road, so people can't park there. We're just trying to make it legal, and not to park there.
Illegal.
Right? Illegal not to park there.
All right. Any other comments?
I have one. I want to ask that the record reflect that I received a letter from Brian Lewis of Lewis Joe's.
Is that the one he emailed me?
That was the one that I emailed to the town board and to the town clerk. That was the applicant asked to be made part of both public hearings. It's a letter from Brian F. Lewis dated May 2nd. Also, there was a VHB study, traffic report, that was submitted to myself by Mr. Lewis on behalf of the applicant, that he also asked to be made part of the record with respect to both public hearings. And I'd ask that they both be noted and made part of the public record with respect to both matters.
Okay. Just to make sure Diane has it.
Can I follow up on that? I received a email which Councilwoman Giglio shared with me that she received from a resident of Sound Avenue, and he had a good idea that maybe the left turn could be an entrance in only and entrance out on Osborne Avenue. So that's something else to think about. If you come in off of Sound Avenue and you leave on Osborne Avenue, that might be better than people leaving and entering off of Sound Avenue. So that's something that I want to think about.
All right. Does anybody from the public wish to be heard? Well, hold on, Warren.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Lewis, and thank you, the town attorney, for referencing my letter. I'm not going to belabor the point. Our position is more fully set forth in that letter, but succinctly and to address a couple of the concerns that I heard voiced just now. With regard to the parking, we do not object in any way whatsoever to limitations on the regional limitations on parking on Sound Avenue. In fact, our client agrees that we do not want to see parking on Sound Avenue He does not want to see pedestrians attempting to walk across Sound Avenue. The property, if you, during the planning board stages, it was discussed at length that we wanted to make it unappealing for anybody to want to park on Sound Avenue and try to walk to the facility. And to that end, he has put sod all the way along Sound Avenue to discourage parking there, as well as some landscaping and trees, as well as a fence, so that anybody attempting to walk from Sound Avenue would actually have to hop a fence. But with regard to that parking aspect, again, I didn't say who I'm here for. The Riverhead Cider House has no opposition whatsoever. With regard to also parking of buses and things of that nature, the Cider House refuses entry to anybody who comes by bus or by limousine, including the anecdotal information you had about these 4 young ladies. They were refused entrance. They are not, if we are aware that they come by bus, they're not allowed in. Now, obviously, if they park in some area out of our site, we can't monitor everybody and everything, but that is something that if we learn it.
Did you know about the 4 young ladies?
Yes, we did. In fact, as you were mentioning that, Mr. King nudged me and said we refused an entrance. So
good.
That is politely, but we do not want that becoming an issue. There's ample parking on site.
There is.
And that is why it is designed as it is. There should be no reason for people to park off site. With regard to the left turn issue, I don't want to belabor it. Our position is set forth in the letter. Succinctly, the traffic study, notwithstanding your all's comments, indicates otherwise. The intersection.
Do you have your engineer here?
I'm sorry?
Do you have your engineer here?
The engineer was previously testified during
Is
the
he
planning
here?
board. And
Oh, is he here today?
No, he's
Okay.
not here today. The prior traffic report that was conducted in connection with the construction of that facility did a traffic study in August. It was submitted on August 27th, 2015. And that study indicated that the intersection to the east is actually the problem intersection, where there are more accidents, and that it would be ill-advised to divert traffic that way, or more additional traffic that way, particularly if these are westbound folks who want to go westbound are forced to make a right turn coming out of the facility and then do a U-turn in that intersection. But again, all of that is set forth in that prior.
Okay, so I understand that it's set forth. You would have do well to bring your traffic engineer here because there's glaring holes. I haven't read it, but I know enough that there's glaring holes in what the engineer has done. So I'm going to point out a couple of holes, and maybe you can plug them. Maybe he could respond to this. A right turn in and right turn out would require that everybody that wants to go westbound has to go out the back of the John King property and come up Osborne. So you would not, the traffic engineer should be studying that traffic pattern within the parking lot that put them out on Osborne Avenue, not that would go out Osborne Avenue, come out on Sound Avenue, make a right on Osborne, and make a U-turn, because that should be a traffic flow that should be handled inside. But the biggest problem with your traffic analysis, and I'm sure it's not in here because, you know, it's kind of like the engineer that designs the sidewalks. You have a building here, and you have a building here, and the sidewalk goes up to the corner like this. Everybody just walks across the grass to the 2 buildings. They don't walk down the sidewalk and back up. Happens every time. You see this every place, you know, that sidewalks are built. People are going to take the path of least resistance to get where they're going. So what we're seeing, and I have a very good friend that lives there, what we're seeing is so dangerous that you would do well to have your traffic engineer do the analysis, which is what John King and I had a conversation about. The folks get to that corner on Sound Avenue coming out of that entrance, they can't make the left. They can't get across because you can't, you know, floor your car and make the left to get across. So they shoot diagonally across to Baywood Drive. No engineer is going to be able to testify, in my humble opinion, doing this for a couple of years, that that is safer than coming out on the Osborne Avenue intersection. So you've got traffic coming out of Baywood Drive. They're not aligned. The people can't make the left, but they know if they gun it, they can shoot it right across, and then they'll make the U-turn in Baywood Drive and come out. That maneuver is very unsafe. So if your traffic engineer studied that, I'd love to see it. I doubt he did study it, and that's why we're here.
If I could respond, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
Supervisor. Respectfully, We have done the study. The study was put in place, it was accepted by the planning board, and it was deemed acceptable at the time. What you are suggesting is that the traffic study has holes in it based on your anecdotal information.
No, no, I can bring witnesses in if you want me to do.
As can I, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm an attorney and I'm frequently in court. It just spills out.
It's fine.
It's okay, he likes it.
I'm one of the few attorneys that I've said this many times, I never want to put the robes on. I can't imagine a more boring job. No offense to any attorney, but.
Well, Jim Leiden is here. I heard that you said that this may be put over for further discussion, and we can address it at that time. But Mr. Leiden is a 30-year former employee of the Riverhead Town Police Department. That was his beat, this street. He is also now working as an employee at the facility, and he is there observing what is going on. Respectfully, I believe he will tell you a very different story as to the anecdotes that you're hearing. And secondarily, the fact remains that the only traffic study that exists for this area was the one that we did at the town's request that militated against what the town is suggesting now. If the town has a traffic study or something that indicates otherwise, we would discuss it, but as of now, what we're hearing is anecdotes. And I understand these are things that need to be pursued and discussed, but to suggest that the study commissioned by the town, using the town's expert, that
It wasn't the town's
militates
expert, it was your expert.
It was an expert that was suggested that we retained by the town.
What, really?
But that expert made his opinion, and if there's any other findings, contrary findings, based on science, based on traffic study, we were more than happy to entertain it.
Well, I think that you should, the public hearing will be held open to the 12th. I think that I would love to see your analysis of folks shooting across to Osborne.
I'm not submitting such an analysis.
Okay.
It's not our burden to do so, sir. It is your burden to establish that this is necessary, and what I'm suggesting is there's a study in place that
You're barking up the wrong trees.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
And I'm suggesting your study has holes in it, and if you don't want to supplement that, that's fine. We'll use you call it anecdotal, I will say that we will use the evidence that we know to be true.
And the safety of the residents that live in the area.
We agree that is paramount. That is absolutely paramount. But what I'm suggesting is the existing expert study suggests that adopting what the town board is proposing would actually cause.
And I'm suggesting to you that study to me is not a study that we should, if that's what you're proposing, then you should have brought your expert in here so we could have questioned them.
The onus, sir, is not on me to propose anything. I'm here to publicly comment on a proposal that the town has made.
So we'll take your study into consideration, and then our firsthand knowledge of the situation, much like that sidewalk where the intersection, nobody goes to the sidewalk, we will use our firsthand knowledge to make a determination as to whether we believe the traffic study is correct.
So I should expect that at the next public hearing that the town board is going to be calling witnesses to support its application?
We call witnesses all the time, sir.
Okay, on this application?
Now, I'm going to leave it open for written comment if you want to, for 12 days. If you want to
I can tell you,
submit written comment.
I can tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and read the findings that the planning board was submitted. I'm going to read the letter that I haven't read yet that you submitted. I'm going to talk to my colleague, or retired colleague, Jim Leiden, to find out what goes on there. I might even go up and visit. I know the area very well. I've only got a couple hundred years in the town, so I know the site vision's there, all right? I know where there may be problems, and it's only common sense. So the back and forth, I mean, we're going to do what's right. We're going to do whatever helps you, whatever helps us, but safety is the underlying, as you agree.
Councilman Wooten, that's all we're asking.
My other question to you is why, listen to me, being that it seems to be quite a success from what I'm hearing from people that have talked to me that aren't from Riverhead, that came to visit.
It's beautiful, Jim.
Why would you exclude limos or buses that may be a destination place along their line of stops?
It's not a matter of excluding them. What we're concerned about is, there have been various concerns voiced, in the ether of the town about having a place that is going to be an attractant for.
Like a nightclubish type?
Nightclubish, and we don't want that. We self-limited our hours for that purpose. We do not want roving buses just popping in and
wreaking havoc and then leaving.
Yeah, and we don't want that. With this, frankly, it's a family atmosphere. That's what we're trying to encourage. And So that's just not, you know, something that we would like to.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Well, a lot of wineries, don't allow buses after 2 o'clock in the afternoon because after making trips all day long, the passengers on those may be intoxicated a little bit, and I know that that they don't want intoxicated people in there because it's like a family place. They bring little kids in there, and so I think that's basically my only perception of why they're not letting buses or limousines in there, because they also want families to go in there and with the kids.
I can understand, it's just the model is, and people, especially the North Fork of Long Island, is changing so much. It's definitely a destination, it's touristy, it's a whole new agritourism which is growing and growing every year, and people take advantage of that, but they don't drive themselves. They're gonna get a driver, they're gonna get a car, or they're gonna get a limo, or they're gonna get a small bus or an Uber, or, you know, they wanna go enjoy themselves and not have to worry about.
That's right. And if this was a situation where there's a prearranged tour or an appointment, and we know who's coming and what the situation is, that may be a different story. I think what we're talking about, though, is problem, you know, parking offside the street, coming in, and
As an afterthought, let's just.
when we don't know where they're coming from or how they're getting there, we don't want to encourage that type of behavior.
Understand, that makes sense.
Because the parking that they have, that the site
Well, you don't
plan
know. They
takes
could-
into consideration is for cars, not for buses and for
Right.
limos, and
I get it.
the buses and limos will take up all the parking based on the occupancy within the facility.
I get it, I understand.
Right, so I have a question, and I'm kind of surprised at this, because John King and I had this conversation, you could invite him up if he wants to, about a right turn in, right turn only. Why are you opposing the right turn in, right turn only? Because at the time, Mr. King and I said, you know, we really can't have people trying to make a left out of here. There's residents on Baywood Drive, and the intersections are misaligned, and it's going to be problematic.
And I'm going to give you the lawyer answer, because this is coming from me.
I don't know, you better sit your client back down, because I think he's coming up.
So that was prior to the traffic study.
Yeah, and that's,
Okay.
as it currently stands right now, we have a traffic study that our client obtained that is saying, don't do this. If something else, you know, if there's evidence, if there's something that we can hang our hat on saying, yes, we should make the change for public safety, our client will of course consider that. But as it currently stands, I couldn't even advise my client to voluntarily make the change when I know that there's a traffic study saying that may be a very bad idea.
You don't have to make the change, we make the change.
What is the date of the traffic study that you're referring to?
I'm sorry, it
It
was
was August.
August 27th of 2015.
All right, I'm gonna look at the traffic study. I will go up there, I come out of Osborne Avenue on
Yeah,
a regular
I
basis.
wanna read
I've
it.
never noticed a line of sight issue coming out of Osborne
Well,
Avenue.
there was no
Mr.
trees.
Lyons
Westbound.
here, would you like to
Westbound's
make
better.
There's a little curve there. There is a little curve.
Really
People
notice
going
it.
westbound, if you don't,
Yeah, there's a little curve, just.
So you
where
can't
his
see
entrance
westbound?
is parking
I
lot.
gotta make the left to go westbound, people come around off that Horton turn pretty quick, and then they come down over that hill off of.
And I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. Our problem is that intersection, and I knew it would be a problem, and it's reared its ugly head more quickly than I thought.
Osborne is rural, it is not the best intersection anyway.
No, and they
With the
probably
tree in the
should have made
middle.
you put a traffic
I
light up.
had recommended
tree.
to the planning department staff and to the planning board that there be a roundabout there at that intersection, because I felt that there was plenty of room to do that with the wedge, the triangular wedge, and they could have done a roundabout, and that would have made traffic flow a lot better. But I'm not a traffic engineer, so with all due respect, I look forward to hearing from your traffic engineer before we make a decision on this.
I don't think
Yeah,
you're gonna hear from them.
My client is not
Well,
resubmitting a
yeah,
traffic
whatever.
study. We've done that already, we've been
No,
there,
I
done
just-
that.
I'll read what's on the
If you'd like to, the purpose of our letter, the purpose of me being here was to advise you all that exists, and that may
Yeah, I wanna get a
argue
copy of
against
that.
the
I will.
contrary.
What's
Now,
the
Mr.
harm to you? I mean, because here's the issue. This is a traffic control device that we're going to put up. So do you think somehow you're gonna have liability here because we put this traffic control device up, which is really a sign that says right turn only?
No, at one time, I think it had been suggested that my client voluntarily put up signs and limit
I
the.
just told you that.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that we can't do so.
Yeah, you
We're not asking you to
And what
do
we're
it.
also, I understand that, but at one point in time, there was a discussion about doing so, and we can't volunteer, my client has the signs, we can't put them out, so as far as being an internal, suggestion that we self-limit left turns out of there, we feel we can't do so based on that traffic study.
No, we would do it
As-
ourselves.
and
We do it.
We are suggesting, based on the submission today, is that our prior report on this very issue suggested that notwithstanding the anecdotal information that you have, I understand that. I understand people are saying that these things are happening. They may be, they may not be. What I am saying is that the traffic study that was done suggested that that would be a bad idea. And if the town wants to pursue this, I'm just encouraging the town to find something more than anecdotes to move forward on it. And if you'd like anecdotes, however, Mr. Lyden is here. He's been there.
Hello,
for the
Mr.
operation.
Lyden.
Would you like to speak with him?
Mr. Lyden, would you like to speak to us?
See if
Just here to
traffic
answer
engineers?
questions. I've been standing at the door to the Riverhead Cider House weekends now for about 8 weeks. And
Just one step back, could you say your name
my
for
name
the
is Jim
record?
Lyden, and I'm a retired veteran police officer here from the town of Riverhead.
Thank you.
When
You
I
look different
retired-
without your hat and uniform. I didn't even
Mustache.
recognize you sitting
You
there.
look much more relaxed, actually, now that you're
Well,
retired.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
That's what
exactly
happens when you hang out at the
You
cider
fall
house,
into the
right?
blood attached. But when I retired, I was working the sector that involves the intersection that's at issue. And the traffic study is in concurrence with my experience that the intersection of Osborne Avenue and Sound is a difficult. As a police officer, I can't comprehend why you would compel people to go out the south side of Mr. King's building and onto Osborne Avenue, cross traffic, go north, and then cross traffic again and go west, when there hasn't been any problem in the last 8 weeks that I've seen standing at the door.
No, I think we would have them, I don't know, maybe, I'm not understanding what you said. We're saying go out the back door and just come up Osborne and make the left.
If you go out the northeast corner of his property
Right.
onto Osborne
Yeah, that's a
Avenue,
safe intersection to make a left.
the people who are predominantly going westbound,
Right.
put them at an intersection that, according to the traffic study that was done at the town's behest and with the company that the town actually recommended to Mr. Kenwood, why would you send them to an intersection that has a higher frequency of accidents than the intersection of Baywood and Sound?
Have
The
you-
frequency of accidents at Baywood and Sound is substantially lower than the frequency of accidents at Osborne and Sound. So why would you make them go all the way around the back of the building, then come back north to Sound and Osborne, and then cross traffic to go westbound, making a left-hand turn against predominantly eastbound traffic?
I think the issue is going to be, as the season heats up, when the Baywood Drive people can't get out and they're trying to make the left at a misaligned intersection. I mean, honestly, what I'm hearing is the planning board messed this up and should have made you guys put a traffic light. Not that I'm in favor of another traffic light on Sound Avenue, but I'm thinking that the planning board should have made Mr. King put a traffic light up here. That's
And in
what
my opinion, the distance between the curve when you're headed eastbound on Sound Avenue, the distance, if you can make that distance greater before people are actually headed westbound onto Sound Avenue, is a better alternative than having them shoot out and having a curve, you know, a few hundred feet away. You
Even as a
increase the
poli-
distance.
Even as a police officer, making a left from Osborne onto Sound Avenue to go west was difficult. If you're considering a traffic light, please consider a traffic light at that intersection.
Or a roundabout.
Yeah.
But I appreciate what you're saying, Jim, and I understand. I would hope that the people that are headed back westbound, that when they type in the Waze application or whatever it is, that it would take them down to Route 58 and take them back to the expressway that way, rather than down to Sound Avenue. So it might be an alternative to get them, maybe, who knows, maybe they'll even stop downtown rather than coming to Riverhead just to go to the cider house.
But they do. I hope they patronize all the businesses.
Me too.
But
I want them to unload their wallets when they come to Riverhead like no other person.
Downtown especially though, and we don't want to detract from that either.
I agree, Joe. I just want to read the study that was done 2 years ago. I agree. That Osborne is misaligned to begin with. That Osborne is Sound is, I don't really want to dump any more traffic on it.
Just to
All right,
address.
we'll take a look at it.
The comment about the bus parking across the street.
Did you see those young
You can't
ladies?
control that.
Like I said, I've been there every weekend since he opened, and there hasn't been a single bus which stopped across the street to unload passengers.
I've
It
seen them,
happened
I actually
one-
have pictures.
Okay, I'm not saying it didn't happen, I didn't see it,
Right.
I've been there every weekend, maybe it happened, you know, before I got there, but I don't.
All right, well,
but-
No, I agree with both of you. That Osborne Avenue is a bad intersection. I think that's an F intersection
Pumping traffic
myself,
out onto Osborne
because
Avenue, I
you
think
have
is a
to
problem.
turn like this to look east. And as you do that, after you look west, there's cars coming, so you have to go back west again to look, to see if you can skirt across the road. It is a very bad intersection.
irony, yeah, the irony.
Haven't seen anybody
And it's
check
the
their
first
tires
time
going
I've
out
heard
on
about
that?
cars going straight across the road at an angle to this intersection, that's other street. I never heard that. So I don't know when they do it. 'Cause
The irony
right
would be
now I don't
somebody
think-
leaving, going out the behind the building, coming out on the Osborne, making a left on the sound, and then hitting somebody coming out of the place. That would be the irony.
Well, we don't wanna see anybody get hurt.
Don't want anybody to get hurt.
But the traffic has run smoothly the way it's set up now, without an incident, and
Can I ask one question? Do people leave at varied times, right? There's not like one mass exodus out of the place, right?
I think Mr. King has established a business to encourage short-term visiting.
Right,
So
but it's not-
people come
it's
in,
not a constant.
they have a tasting of whatever they came to taste, they have a snack,
Right.
and then they go on to whatever else they came to.
Well, that's
eat and all
encouraging,
that.
because it's not like at 9 o'clock you got 15 cars trying to get out on Sunday.
No, it's
sporadic.
a constant ebb and flow of traffic coming and going all the time, and standing at the door all this time, I haven't seen anybody have a problem making a left-hand turn.
Well, you have a seat, and I have a seat.
I mean, you have about, what, 350 parking spots approximately? Oh, 150?
168.
It looks like more.
You gotta cut, I'm not gonna question you.
I have no problem with that. There's 100, I believe there's 168.
John King,
I'm sorry,
for the
John
record,
King,
owner of
Riverhead Side House.
Riverhead Side House.
There's 168 line, brand new parking lot spots there. However, if we did want to accept buses, and we chose not to because we want a high-quality customer.
That's your prerogative.
And we don't want people coming from Manhattan. I understand about take them early, but a lot of those buses come from Manhattan and they're drinking the whole way. My wife cleaned up, throw up, 3 weeks ago on a bus that we let in because somebody was late. We told them they could come before 12 o'clock, and they didn't, and then they did the whole thing. But I will tell you, if we wanted to put buses, we could put them in the truck spots in the parking lot. They're all empty because we don't have any trucks on the property anymore.
Well, that's,
So-
Thank you.
that's a business decision. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but what
I just
my
think you
point
lose
I
it.
was trying to make is if we wanted to park the buses there,
You
we
could.
wouldn't be taking parking spaces from places where we have
You have a
parking.
loading dock.
So you don't have trucks that are backed up to the loading dock to distribute wine?
No,
Really?
no.
Okay,
You asked me once, I said no.
okay.
What do you do with all the wine you
Pictures of
store
that
there?
too.
The wine gets picked up at the cidery,
Right.
at the wineries, gets brought back, gets put in our building, Grapes and Greens,
Right.
part of it, okay, and that truck goes back to King's.
It's
We have
amazing.
no overnight parking trucks there at all.
It's an amazing facility, and when I got a tour of it, I learned how bananas turn green, and I tried it, so I like the facility. I give you a hard time on the turn,
But there
because
are no trucks parked there, and by the way, we agreed, no refrigerated trucks, and there are no trucks parked there overnight, so.
I've never been there, but my friends of mine from up
Well,
west.
please come by
They
this
visited
weekend.
last week, and they called me and said, wow, what a great.
I'm gonna go home on Osborne Avenue to see what
Please.
dangerous intersection that I've been going through. What do I know?
Mr.
All right.
King, I just want to say I have been there. Place is gorgeous. I thank you for investing in the town of Riverhead because I think it's a home run. And I think that we will be able to work out something with some common sense to make this work for both the safety of the people on the road, the neighbors, and your business. I really do.
We all want the same thing.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
just want to make one other comment about stakes that were put in the front. For those of you who think we did that to keep people from parking there, A, we don't want people parking there. But that was put there with discussions with the folks from the town. Okay, we put sod in December 15th.
Oh, you didn't want the snow plows?
It was for the snow plows.
Right.
By the way, they were all taken down. So we didn't do that, and if any of you folks ever live on a cul-de-sac or something like that, we did that. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but whoever's in charge of your sanitation, the Department of Roads, I see him on TV on time, News 12.
Oh, Gio.
Yeah, okay. He talked with my landscaper, and they put them in. That's why they were painted orange on top.
Okay.
So we didn't put them there, and like That's how things start. Like, why did you put them there? Well, we put them there.
No, I thought there were snow stakes. I mean, I knew what they were. They were, so you didn't rip up the.
I was told by other board members that they were there to keep people from parking. So
I
just
should
wanna
put them at my
clarify.
office, because Gio's guys cut back the front lawn like a couple inches every winter.
Good luck, Mr.
Mr. King, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Ms. Lewis,
Thank you.
did you
Thank
have
you.
any other information? Thank you. Does anybody else wish to be heard on this much more interesting topic than water and sewer? All right, I'm going to close the public comment portion, leave it open for written comment to, what are we, May 12th? And we're all going to look at the traffic report, and I'm going to look at that intersection and maybe stop by the cidery again. All right, thank you very much. We have now time to take up resolutions. I don't see Sal. Does anybody wish to comment on resolutions?
We're safe.
No, now I'm worried. You probably got more typos and misspelled words. Mr. Gallo, how you doing?
Good.
David Gallo, Georgia Green Ventures, something. Joe, I wonder why you're here.
Resolution 320.
All right, so, what do I have to type in there? Control F?
Control F,
Control F.
17320.
Wait,
Oh,
control, they
320.
moved the F on me. So it's one,
Control F what?
0320. 0320.
What?
I did that.
17.
Got it, yeah.
And then
All
what?
right, so,
Zero.
you want an explanation?
No.
Okay.
Okay, yes. I didn't have much to say other than David Gallo, President, Georgia Green Ventures. I wanted to just thank the supervisor and the town board for giving us an opportunity to present our plans, known as Riverhead Lofts. We are really very excited, our entire team, to be working in the downtown. Every town, every community has a story to tell, and we are grateful to be working on this project with all of you, including the ARB, including the landmarks. We'll keep our head down through this process and to stay focused on delivering a development that the town and the community can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
I left you a message. I'm going to ask you this publicly.
Yes.
So, rumor is that your rent is subsidized somehow. In other words, you have a rental price of $1,200 for a two-bedroom. Is that about right?
It ranges from that to probably over 1,900 or 2,000.
So the rumor is that it's subsidized. So when somebody comes in and pays $1,200 a month for rent, they really don't have to pay $1,200. They pay, I'm making the number of $800, and the state or the feds or the county pays the other $400. Is that?
That is not true.
Okay, so whatever your rents are at $1,200 or $1,900 or $1,000, that's what people are paying.
That is what the resident will pay. Among other things, they'll have to pass background checks, they'll have to pass reference checks, they'll have to pass
What's your minimum credit score requirement?
650-ish.
I can't
Okay. 650. Come on, Jim.
We are, we're very proud
I
of-
think you should be like 750.
We're very proud of all of our communities. We're proud of our residents that take place and the pride that they have. And I think we very much understand what the town and what the community is looking for, which is to deliver housing for their workforce and upward mobility. And we are driven to do that. And we've been saying that from day one, and we will not waver on that.
And 30% is market rate? Is that what the,
No.
did I guess wrong?
80% is the,
We have about
Let him
30% of
answer
the
the
units
question.
between 80 and 130% of the AMI.
Say that again?
Between 80 and 130% of the AMI is what we would consider market rate,
And that's how many units, to what percentage?
about 30%.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you're, all the rumors, even rumors generated from this building on that wing are not accurate. All right.
am I not mistaken also that you volunteered to keep the minimum income for all the residents within your building at $24,000 or at 80% of the median income in Suffolk County?
At 24,000. I don't know
Yes.
how that reflects
Okay.
with respect to the AMI, but at 24,000, yes.
Okay, so everybody that lives there has to make at least 24,000.
Correct.
I don't know how you're paying $1,000 a month
Well,
for a
that's why
studio
I'm
at 24,000.
questioning
But,
But,
yeah, you can do it, but, you know.
well, it used to be, when I was a kid growing up, 1 week's salary should pay for your rent, but now it's half a
1
month's
month,
salary.
yeah, I was gonna say 1 month's salary practically.
I still don't know how they call them, workforce housing.
They're expensive.
When they are expensive. I mean, we got people out here making $18,000 or less and
Cheaper than a mortgage.
can't afford, you know, workforce housing. So the definition of workforce housing to me is, I don't know. I just don't know what it really truthfully is. Is it middle-class housing? I don't know if
You know what,
it's,
this is housing for my son who's 23 years old, just got his first job, making the low 40s. Where is he gonna go?
It's a start.
You know, there's not a lot of head of women in the
no,
office.
I agree, but he has a real good
He
job.
can come with low
Yeah, no.
40s, right? Or is he too
Yes.
high at low
It's
40s?
close.
can.
You say low 40s, low 40s.
Like 42,000.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
close,
good.
that's close, I looked at the numbers, even at
The
6.
maximum you can make at 80% is 48, about 48,000,
And we
at
also
80% of the median income.
We also have units that range from 110 to 132. We've tried very hard to take a wide range so that this building will have an opportunity to serve a lot of
Beautiful.
residents.
And you
Represent the community, absolutely.
have, I guess, satisfied, we think, the ARB and the Landmarks Preservation
knock on wood.
Commission. So let's.
We continue to work with them. but-
We're drawing the line in the sand because Richard Wine said that everything seemed to be good, so we gotta move the project forward. All right, unfortunately, you are kind of, I don't wanna say, it's not right to say stuck in secret, but we have to do the coordinated review. Stay tuned.
Understood.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Yep.
you.
Thank
Teo,
you.
anybody else wish to be heard on resolutions?
Me do. I wanna hear him call.
You wanna hear them called?
All right, are you ready?
Wait, I gotta get back to the first
I
resolution.
wanna actually hold off
304.
right now, cause my husband's at the foot doctor with my daughter having an ingrown toenail reviewed. So I might, if we get done too soon, I
What's
might
the
be
first one?
summoned.
304. Wow.
Ouch.
Pinky toe?
He's McLaughlin.
Okay.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, that can't be fun.
Okay, Diane.
Okay, resolution 304.
General fund police budget adjustment, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 305.
This is a resolution 2013 Millbrook Gables Playground Budget Adjustment, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 306.
Designates additional financial institutions as official depositories for town funds. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 307.
Secret resolution regarding application for Suffolk County downtown revitalization, round 15 funding for parking lot repair. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, we do need our parking lots repaired, with all the potholes we have in them. So I'm voting yes for this money.
See, the town does do something
what?
positive, John.
You know what I wanted to ask you, when they were doing the repairs along Roanoke Avenue and they were using our parking lot on the east side to stage, I thought that they were supposed to repair that parking lot.
I was
They did.
through
They
there.
did.
That they did it once, then the winter came, made more potholes. They were supposed to go back. The potholes have been marked with white paint. So I'm thinking that maybe in the next week or two, when our engineer is here, when they're supposed to come to, they're gonna do it. They're gonna redo the potholes in the road that we have.
Behind Maximus,
Behind Maximus.
behind Maximus.
Yes.
Okay, we're still in the middle of a vote.
I'm talking about the one on Third Street. but I
Yeah, the
was just
First Street
curious about
parking
that.
lot, from First Street to East Avenue. They're supposed to, all the potholes,
Again.
behind Maximum was repaved by the town, so they don't have to, that portion. They just have to do the roadway that runs around it and the parking lot that's, towards, Roanoke Avenue.
Let's have this conversation offline because we're in
Right.
the middle of a vote here.
Yes,
Sorry
I
about
know
that.
That's all right. We left off with John,
Keep
so
going.
Sean is up.
Yes, I say yes.
Okay, resolution adopted. Resolution 308.
Supports and endorses pursuit of Suffolk County downtown revitalization, round 15. funding for downtown parking lot. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Ditto, yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 309.
Secret resolution regarding application for Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization Round 15 funding for LED streetlights. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 310.
Supports and endorses pursuit of Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization Round 15 funding for downtown Jamesport lights. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I want to thank our Chris who wrote
Oh,
these,
Chris.
these things up, so we can try to get money, right, for all the stuff that we want to do. So these grants, she did a great job, and I want to thank her for that. I hope we get some money.
He votes yes.
Walter.
I vote yes.
John votes yes and Sean votes yes.
Okay. Resolution adopted. Resolution 311.
Accepts the retirement of a wastewater treatment plant operator number 2. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Gotta be careful when you say retirement of wastewater number 2. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 312.
Accepts the retirement of a senior water treatment plant operator, 1B. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 313.
313 accepts the resignation of a member from the Architectural Review Board. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I just want to thank Gary Jockman. He's been on the Architectural Review Board since its inception about 25 years ago, and he was also on the Landmarks Preservation Commission and has decided to retire and move to California. So we will miss him terribly, and I want to thank him for all of his years of service.
Yeah, somebody please apply for those positions. We've advertised them on the website, and I don't know that do we
We
pay?
filled it.
Do we fill one?
Yes, we filled that position.
We pay for the Architectural Review
Yeah.
Board. We don't pay for landmarks, but we do have one of the members from the Architectural Review Board who is seeking the position on the landmarks as well, because she does have experience in historical
Good.
architecture.
Well, we did.
So are both boards then full once we do
I think we're
that?
still one shy on the ARB.
Got it? ARB, looking for people that have some sort of design sense or something.
Graphic design is what we really like to see. We have a lot of sign applications.
I have none of that.
So we left off with Jody. Wooten.
Yes.
What am I doing?
You're voting.
I don't know. We have to stop this, guys. We gotta
You're
vote.
voting.
I can thank him for his service.
I vote yes.
Okay. Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 314.
Accepts the resignation of the Community Development Administrator. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Hubbard.
Chris, best of luck to you and thank you for all the work you've done here. I've only known you for the past year and a half, but from what I've seen, very proud to have you a member here of the town of Riverhead, so thank you.
Giglio.
Ditto. Yes.
Wooten.
No, yes, of course.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I want to thank her for all the work she's done. She's behind the scenes, and she really does a great job. And she has to move ahead, and I want to congratulate her for moving ahead and upwards. So, I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes, Christina, thank you for your service. You've done a wonderful job for us, and we're sorry to see you leave.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 315.
Appoints an interim community development administrator. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 316.
Terminates a probationary employee. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Well, that really sounds bad, doesn't it?
I know. I said
we have
we
to do
got
every
to
time.
come up
Another
with
way
a
to do
different
it.
word.
I'll vote yes to terminating the employee.
Dunleavy.
Leaves from duty.
I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 317.
It appoints a seasonal pump-out boat operator. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 318.
It ratifies authorization of purchasing agent to attend the 2017 New York State Association of Municipal Purchasing Officials Annual Professional Development Conference. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
She's
Yes.
now, isn't she?
Resolution adopted. Resolution 319.
Reassigns the salary of an account clerk typist. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 320.
Classifies the Riverview Loft, Georgia Green site plan and special permit application of Georgia Green Ventures LLC as a type 1 action and refers the applications to involve agencies with the request for lead agency status 221 East Main Street and 31 McDermott Avenue, Suffolk County Tax Map numbers 0600-129-01-21 and 22. So move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I'm going to abstain from the vote because this does directly affect me, seeing as I own an apartment building downtown, but I will lend my experience and expertise to the board when I feel necessary. I'm abstaining.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 321.
This authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a notice for a public hearing for a special permit for Salius boy, you got me good, man. Trusinkus.
Yeah, you're usually
Trusinkus.
good at that.
I am, but it's like reading a Greek name. Escape quest to establish a special permit use. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Can't wait to get the town board in there to try and figure out the clues to escape.
Not
Yes.
We'll be
Wooten.
skeletons.
Every Thursday in that room is an escape room. I don't need to go in again.
Is that right? I'll vote yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Problem is, nobody has a clue in that room.
Okay, so we'll bring him here, Sean.
Are we voting?
Yes, we're up to you.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 322.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post the attached notice to bidders for the removal of liquid sludge. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 323.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement authorizing the town to accept funds from Suffolk County Office for the Aging for the purpose of supplementing the town's nutritional program for the elderly. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 324.
Oh, that's
This
gonna take
was
us.
a
a
long
Hold on a
agreement
minute.
in here.
This one goes
Yeah,
on
wait
forever.
2 seconds.
Just push 324.
I know, but
It's
Dunleavy.
easy.
I know, I just haven't
I'm
gotten
getting
that.
there.
I haven't gotten that. I'm with John. I'm scrolling the thing.
It's Jody. It's easy,
Okay.
right, Jody?
It is easy. It's so much easier than
324,
doing that.
authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with Always Elevator Incorporated for elevator maintenance and service at the George Young Community Center. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. What's the next resolution?
324.
324.
There we go.
Okay.
Isn't that easy?
Ready?
That was easy.
We'll get there tomorrow.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 325.
It adopts a local law to amend Chapter 211 entitled Beaches and Recreation of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 326.
Always.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment of Chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code. And this is parking prohibited on Peconic Bay Boulevard. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 327.
Adopts a local law to amend Chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code, Chapter 289-17, Parking Time Limited, D 3 hours. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Recuse.
Okay. Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
I'm going to abstain, I wasn't here for the hearing.
Oh, boy, this is.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 328.
Authorize the town clerk to publish a public notice for the public hearing considering an amendment of chapter 289 entitled Vehicle Traffic and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code 289-29 penalties. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 329.
329 approves the Chapter 255 application of Family Community Life Center Incorporated for the Family Fun Day on Saturday, June the 10th, 2017. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 330.
Approves the Chapter 255 application of Hallettville Incorporated for the Long Island Fleece and Fiber Fair, May 20th and 21st, 2017. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 331.
Authorizes issuance of a letter by the supervisor to the Suffolk County Department of Health Services allowing the use of Pine Barrens credits originated from property located in Riverhead, parentheses, Farmingville Associates. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Again.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 332.
Closure of account in People's United Bank, Two Bears Project. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 333.
333 ratifies extension of professional services agreement with Converge Technology Group Incorporated, CTG, for ongoing IT support services for network/VMware. So moved. I guess it's
Second.
ongoing IT, I guess it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Jody, are you seconding that?
Yes, I did.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 334.
17.
See,
Dead.
that way so much slower.
4.
Approves family, I got it.
Why isn't it doing it? Won't go. Approved settlement with IPC Contracting Corporation and Farm Family Casualty Insurance Company. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 335.
Resolution to support County of Suffolk purchase of 37.6 plus or minus acres of land located on Main Road, Jamesport, New York, subject property, owned by Jamesport Property Company, LLC. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 336.
Authorize the legal action against the owners, tenants, occupants, and mortgagee of property located at 445 West Main Street, Riverhead, New York. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
This is part of the Code Enforcement Committee's efforts to cut down on overcrowded houses and where people are being exploited and living in unsafe conditions. So I fully support this and the other resolutions that are coming along with it. Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 337.
Oh, I like this one. Authorizes the town supervisor to execute a professional service agreement with Free Money, LLC. So moved.
And seconded.
Find me the free money. This is for Chris Kempner. Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 338.
Pays the bills.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, we have two resolutions to come off the floor. Do you want me to just ratifies the appointment of beach manager Diane, what numbers do you want to assign?
339 to the beach manager, but is this one being, this has a
330.
number, what is?
330, yes, 239 and,
Oh,
That's
amends
not-
resolution 239. So that
So
would,
that one will be, okay,
so that would be
that's
340.
340, okay.
Okay. So, can I get a motion to take resolution 339 and 340 off the floor? 339 is ratifies the appointment of a beach manager to the Recreation Department. This is a beach manager 4, and it's Bethany Peters. And the resolution 340 is amends resolution number 329, I should say of 2017, but does say needs to be, resolution 239 was passed on April 4th, 2017, needs to be amended. Town Board amends the appointment of Sarah Freebourne from the position of Senior Park Attendant Level 3 to the position of Park Attendant 3 to be paid the rate of $16.90 an hour to the Recreation Department. Can I get a
I make a motion, we
take
take
both off the floor.
resolutions 239.
339.
339 and 340 off the floor. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded as to taking each resolution off the floor.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution 339 and 340 are taken off the floor. I'll call resolution 339.
Ratifies the appointment of a beach manager to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 340.
Amends resolution 239. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, now we open the board meeting up for public comment on anything anybody wants to comment on. We ask you to limit your conversations or comments to 5 minutes, and since I now have this fancy computer thing, we kind of watch the 5 minutes. Does anybody wish to be heard tonight? Not seeing anybody. Can I get a motion to
I
adjourn
make
the
a
board
motion, we
meeting?
adjourn the town. What'd you say?
That's a good one.
Motion to
I
adjourn
make
the
a
town
motion,
board
we
meeting.
adjourn the town board meeting.
I second, moved and seconded. Vote please. All in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion's carried. We are adjourned. Thank you, folks.
You know, that
Safe home.
traffic study was done by BHP for years.
Yeah, but it
haven't
wasn't
seen
a
that
traffic
traffic
study, it was a site study, more of a
they
vision, to
just-
I
see
didn't
if there was
look at it.
construction of the
They just
vision.
emailed it to us, or you did.
I
Bob
just
did.
was a very big proponent of making it in and out.
Me too. And
Larry, why is our green light still on?
I just think that.
There you go.
I think
There you go.
it's no different than making that stupid right-hand turn coming out of 7-Eleven, or out of that, I'd make a left on the roll. Right now, they want you to come out of like,
It's right turn.
it's right turn only, go to traffic circle, around and go back.
Right,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Same thing.
John did those.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
come sit there and watch
I go
what
there
goes
every
on.
day.
I have I have pictures of what goes on. Because you got Warner Nursery that's coming out and shooting across to
I
get
haven't
to
seen
his
that.
farm from
Well, I
the
haven't been up there.
south
I
side
don't
to the north
I don't
side.
doubt it doesn't get any more hectic or any less hectic than
Downtown Riverhead.
McKay's farm stand. It's not there anymore, but vertebrers
Right, but
or
those are
Shelley's
farm
or.
stands and agritourism,
I'm
and they
just
are,
saying,
do have crop production.
I do like the facility.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility.
I'm not sure that
I don't know.
directing everybody to Osborne is the answer.
So they probably should have made him put a traffic light up, not that I want to